Today on Texas Country Reporter.
Racing is hard to explain until you've been in there.
It's an adrenaline rush like you've never had before.
This rugged slice of the Chihuahuan Desert is our state's poster child for desolate, solitary escape.
A lot of people from the city that's never been involved in any kind of farming or ranching, well, they just think it's a ridiculous way of life.
But first, we'll stop by a small town that lays claim to a milestone of human technology.
Pittsburgh, Texas is world famous for its hot links, but it's a world-changing event that might have happened here that most of the world has never even heard about. Here at the Northeast Texas Rural Heritage Museum, there is a life-size replica of a machine built by Burrell Cannon that, according to local legend, actually flew before the Wright brothers' famed controlled flight in 1903. It was called the Ezekiel Airship, and here at the museum you can learn all about the aircraft's design, history, and legendary flight that was never truly documented, except for a few eyewitnesses that claimed they saw the thing fly across a Pittsburgh pasture. Well, it could be a significant part of American history, and it could be a tall Texas tale. The Ezekiel Airship, did it really fly 2 years before the Wright brothers did? Well, people here in Pittsburgh, Texas sure think it did. At the very least, it's a Texas legend. And another stop on the road. Why don't you hop in and travel with me? I'm Bob Phillips. This is Texas Country Reporter.
Texas Country Reporter is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer. Mueller Incorporated. Metal roofs, metal buildings, ironclad guarantees. Hoheim Prairie Insurance. Texans serving Texans since 1892. Top Texas towns, Nacogdoches and Victoria. And Southwest Airlines.
Go ahead and ground it anywhere.
Ground it right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like fixing things. I like, of course, hopping things up. Of course, that's a redneck way, isn't it? Anything you get, soup it up.
To Michael Tribble, Saturday mornings were made for working on cars. He spends most of them in his family's garage, tinkering with his latest souped-up engine. And even though he can get a tad obsessed, Michael is never too busy to help his little sister get her car started.
Watch the oil pressure come.
And when I was 16 years old, my dad took me to the races and I didn't want to go. I thought it was stupid. When I got there, I just fell in love with the sport. And the next year, I talked my dad into getting me a car.
Okay, so Amy Tribble isn't your typical teenager, and the Pink Beast isn't your typical family car either.
All Chevrolets deserve to be Chevrolet orange, but that was her deal. She wanted a pink motor, so she's got the pink motor now.
It's her own personal dirt track stock racer, built by her dad and brother, and rolled onto the track before Amy even had a driver's license.
And so me and my dad, we put it together for my little sister. First year, and it got in my blood, so the next year I built me one. And been racing. She's been racing 4 years, and I've been racing 3.
We talk racing all the time. We hardly talk about anything else.
Michael and Amy each drive their own car in separate classes under the Tribble Racing banner. Each week, Dad and the kids talk shop, work on their cars, and gear up for the biggest night of the week, Saturday, aka race night.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, start your engines if you would, please.
Racing is hard to explain until you've been in there.
It's an adrenaline rush like you've never had before.
It's an addiction. That's what the back of my car says, is it's an addiction, and it really is.
Engines roar, dirt flies, and competition fills the air at Route 66 Motor Speedway in Amarillo, Texas. Drivers come from all over the Panhandle to whip around a muddy oval at highway speeds and capture the thrill of a first-place finish.
When the race starts, it's just your heart's pumping, and when you win is when the excitement really takes over.
Don't be afraid. Smash the gas and turn left.
Race night is a non-stop assault of high-speed action. Heat after heat, drivers either fall out of contention or move one step closer to the main event. Anything is possible. Tension mounts with every turn, where one lapse in focus can be the difference between driving home a winner and driving home at all.
Everybody knows that you may leave here with a total race car. Just part of racing.
Both our classes are very competitive. There's several people that are capable of winning each and every Saturday night. Maybe tonight will be our night. You never know.
As the evening rolls on, each class holds its main event.
Grab you some buds and hang on to your hat, because it's showtime.
Amy's class goes first, and unfortunately, her chances are blown, along with a bad power steering pump. However, Tribble Racing still has half the team in contention, and Michael's class is featured in tonight's big money finale.
Let's go racing. Hey, you ready, Ben? Green stop. 25 big laps, 1,200 to win. Ten laps left to go. 69 car pull to the infield. He's out. White flag, one more lap, one more time around.
Michael stays focused. His car runs like a dream, and in the end,
the win goes to car number 18, Doug Gillespie.
well, in racing, sometimes, most times, it's not your night. But you don't have to be on a Wheaties box to be a race car driver. You just have to be like Amy and Michael Tribble, who know that victory doesn't always mean first place.
I didn't get lapped, I didn't wreck, I finished the race and loaded the car in one piece, so it's a good time.
As long as we bring one back and put it on the trailer, we feel like we had a good night.
I'm happy that we finished, and we're just looking forward to next Saturday night.
Hey, don't forget about our upcoming Texas Country Reporter Festival. Meet all your favorite artists, musicians, and chefs from TCR all in one place on Saturday, October 27th in downtown Waxahachie.
Hachim, Hochim,
Hokium, Hakim.
There are still some Texans who don't know how to pronounce our name.
Hachaim, Hachaim.
Hachichum.
But the generations of Texans who have depended on Hoheim for their home, farm, auto, or commercial coverage will never forget it.
It's Hoheim. And when our house was hit by a storm, they did exactly what they said they would do.
Hoheim Prairie Insurance, member-owned, Texans serving Texans since 1892. Commitment, trust, value, and family are Capital Farm Credit's core values. Plus, we're committed to helping educate Texans about conserving our natural resources and marine life. Capital Farm Credit stands beside and salutes Texas conservation organizations in their efforts to sustain and enhance our wildlife, our wetlands, and other natural areas to keep our state pristine for generations. And when you find your piece of heaven, call Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer. Enjoy the hospitality and charm of Nacogdoches. Come to Nacogdoches for its unique entertainment, great dining experiences, and one-of-a-kind attractions. All these things and more are waiting for you in Nacogdoches, the oldest town in Texas. What do you do when someone tells you to take a hike? Well, lots of us do just that. In fact, hiking is both an established and a growing pastime here in the state that seems to have a little bit of everything. But like everything else, some hikes are better than others. Never fear, you told us where to find the best hiking in the state. Back before the world was swarming with planes, trains, and automobiles, ancient man used to get around with curious things called feet. Even today, some people claim they can still travel up and down mountains, along rivers, and through forests under the power of their own bodies. Hiking is not only a healthy workout, it's also a way to reconnect with our ancestors through the land that sustained us all. Now, I suppose the best hiking would partially depend on how good you are at hiking, but you let your voices be heard loud and clear when we ask you to tell us where to find the best hiking in the state. Here's what you had to say. Your third favorite place to hike proves Texas really does have an autumn. Lost Maple State Natural Area gets its name and its popularity from the big-tooth maple trees that have been here since the Ice Age. Almost every fall, their changing leaves paint the hills in vibrant reds, oranges, and golds, attracting full-capacity crowds until mid-November. The rest of the year, these cool limestone canyons provide a respite from the Texas heat. Well, we had a feeling Big Bend State and National Parks would make the list, and they come in at number 2. This rugged slice of the Chihuahuan Desert is our state's poster child for desolate, solitary escape. Here you can hike among cactus, look across the Rio Grande into Mexico, and listen to nothing except the dirt crunching beneath your feet. Few places in the world can match the stark beauty of Big Bend. And in first place, our viewers declared Enchanted Rock as Texas' premier hike. This dome of pink granite rises 425 feet above its hill country surroundings. Thanks to the rolling terrain, hikers can choose from a variety of elevation gains, anything from flat to steep to actual rock climbing. Add in the fact that it's centrally located, and you've got a park worthy of the title, Texas' Best Hiking.
What do you love about Texas? Tell us on our website, where you can vote on weekly polls, suggest new topics, and send us your photos to include each week on Texas Best.
And there you have it. Congratulations to the place you told us has the best hiking in the Lone Star State. Now, don't forget to cast your vote in the other Texas Best categories by going online at texascountryreporter.com. And don't forget to sign up for the Texas Country Reporter Southwest Airlines Getaway Giveaway Contest so you can find yourself jetting around the country with our friends at Southwest Airlines for free. Or you could find yourself taking a little vacation at Escondida in the Texas Hill Country for free. Sign up today. And a reminder, too, that you should join the conversation that's always going on at facebook.com/Texas Country Reporter. Now, here's one more look at the results for the best hiking in the Lone Star State, brought to you by our good friends at Mueller Metal Roofs and Buildings, Capital Farm Credit, Holheim Prairie Insurance, Southwest Airlines, and top Texas towns Nacogdoches and Victoria. Throughout the years, Mueller protects what's important to you.
Be in the know when you're ready to go with Click and Save emails from Southwest Airlines. Sign up today at southwest.com/email and you'll never have to miss another deal.
Try explaining this scene to somebody in New York City. A crisp, cool, blue-skied spring morning, hundreds of acres of rolling green pasture land, too many head of cattle to count. For most of America, this is something found only in the history books. Yet, scenes like this play out all over Texas every day.
We're just working people, but we're thankful we're able to work.
The cowboy, the ultimate symbol of hard work, perseverance, and Texas. The golden age of cowboys may be gone thanks to the railroad and modern-day industrialization, but the Western spirit still lives on in places like this. Look around on cattle ranches across the state, and chances are you'll find someone a lot like Ricky Lyle.
A lot of people from the city that's never been involved in any kind of farming or ranching, well, they just think it's a ridiculous way of life. There's no way they'd probably get a little poop on them working the cattle and things, you know, but I'd rather have that poop on me than I had my belly be growly.
While Ricky's probably not your prototypical cowboy, he's not far from it either. His life has been one of solid work ethic and dogged determination. What he lacked in education, he made up for with long, hard days of ranching. It was all temporary anyway, or so he thought.
Keep your elbow kind of level with your shoulder and make sure when you release it, you turn your hand over to the inside, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, my dad had cattle, in which I swore I'd never have any because he made me help with the hay baling and stuff and mowing the pastures, and I was not happy with any of it. But since you don't have an education, you have to figure out some type of work that fits you. And so we got into the rope business part-time, and it just finally grew into where we thought we'd take a chance at making a living out of it.
Ropers and cattle go hand in hand, and there's no better way to make a living than selling what you believe in. So Ricky set out to give rope making a whirl. All it took was some help from a few friends who knew more than he did about manufacturing, and some machines from the textile industries of the Carolinas. And Ricky was twisting up a living.
I would think that rope would be something that you just go down to Tractor Supply and pick you up a piece of rope off. I mean, what's the difference? Rope's rope, isn't it?
Well, not to your ropers, it's not. And different guys just have a different feel. And they're way more particular about their rope than a woman is about picking out a purse. And that's pretty particular, I think. You've seen the process. I guess it's a little hard to explain, but all your lays and everything are determined by the amount of twist you put in your ropes and the weight, that the drag weights, they determine all of that. But just through a 3-spinner, a head on one end and a 1-spinner twist up on the other end, and that's about as simple as it gets.
Ricky doesn't just see dollars and cents when he's making rope. His sights are on the friends he's made along the way. And he never forgets where he came from and how hard work makes do. The cowboy way might be dying out, but it's alive and well in this cowboy's heart.
I enjoy all of it. I mean, I enjoy the rope business, I enjoy the cattle business, and even if I have to go get a load of hay in Louisiana, I'm going to enjoy it. Life's too short not to enjoy every minute of it. And I've just made a decision in my life that regardless of what you're doing, be happy with it.
For someone who claims he wasn't cut out for education, he sure seems to have a lot of smarts. He runs a business that combines family, friends, and fancy. One he doesn't have to whip himself to get out of bed for every day. The notion of hard work and simple living might be lost in today's modern world, but it's a philosophy Ricky Lyle takes to with a lot of pride.
Well, life's you get out of life what you put into it. You know, like I say, appreciate and value my family and my friends. That just kind of sums it up. You know, get up and go to work and try to be a productive person, and it's just a lot of self-satisfaction in it for me. It's been so long since I wrote it, but I called it dinner. If you're happy, you're successful.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you do, whether it's making ropes or working in the top of a drilling rig, working dirt. If you're happy, you're successful.
And I guess you could say we got roped into doing that story, and we sure are glad we did. We'll be right back.
Plan a weekend getaway to Victoria, a city rich in history and charm, where the weather is perfect for year-round recreation, where family fun and discovery is all around you. This and more is waiting for you in Victoria. Texas is filled with wide open spaces. Let Capital Farm Credit help you get out and enjoy it. They offer flexible financing options for farms, ranches, and even timberland or recreational property where you can get out and hunt, fish, or build a home to just take in the outdoors. Capital Farm Credit is a member-owned financial institution that understands rural loans and country living. Need a way to finance your dreams with competitive rates and flexible terms? Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer.
Hi, I'm Bob Phillips, and this is Escondido, my Texas Hill Country Inn on Medina Mountain. It's 125 acres of breathtaking hills, flowing water, and incredible wildlife. We've added beautiful, comfortable rooms, great food, and a world-class spa so you can get away, unwind, kick back, and relax. Escondido Resort and Spa. The hard part isn't getting here, it's leaving.
Enjoy the hospitality and charm of Nacogdoches. Come to Nacogdoches for its unique entertainment, great dining experiences, and one-of-a-kind attractions. All these things and more are waiting for you in Nacogdoches, the oldest town in Texas.
And I want to thank you once again for riding along with me. Next week, we'll tell you about an art form that is disappearing from roadside Texas. We'll visit a South Texas spot where rabbits are regal. And we'll tell you about the place you say is the best music venue in the state. I'm Bob Phillips. This is Texas Country Reporter. We'll see you next time.
Promotional consideration and travel arrangements provided by Valero, the all-American gasoline, all across America. La Quinta Inns and Suites, with more than 800 hotels nationwide. Book your room at lq.com and wake up on the bright side. Texas Country Reporter is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer. Mueller Incorporated, metal roofs, metal buildings, ironclad guarantees. Hoheim Prairie Insurance, Texans serving Texans since 1892. Top Texas towns, Nacogdoches and Victoria, and Southwest Airlines. This week on an all-new Texas Country Reporter, see what happens when this lady and gentleman start their engines at Amarillo's Stock Car Racetrack. Take a hike at the parks and landmarks that finished atop our Texas Best Poll. Plus, meet a businessman who says it's a good day when he's at the end of his rope. Texas Country Reporter, it's what the Lone Star State is all about. This week on an all-new Texas Country Reporter, see what happens when this lady and gentleman start their engines at Amarillo's Stock Car Racetrack.
Watch the oil pressure come.
And when I was 16 years old, my dad took me to the races and I didn't want to go. I thought it was stupid. When I got there, I just fell in love with the sport. And the next year, I talked my dad into getting me a car.
Amy Tribble isn't your typical teenager, and the Pink Beast isn't your typical family car either. It's her own personal dirt track stock racer, built by her dad and brother, and rolled onto the track before Amy even had a driver's license.
She's been racing 4 years and I've been racing 3.
Michael and Amy each drive their own car in separate classes under the Tribble Racing banner.
Both our classes are very competitive. There's several people that are capable of winning each and every Saturday night. Maybe tonight will be our night. Never know.
Engines roar, dirt flies, and competition fills the air at Route 66 Motor Speedway in Amarillo, Texas. Drivers come from all over the Panhandle to whip around a muddy oval at highway speeds and capture the thrill of a first-place finish. Michael's class is featured in tonight's big money finale.
Let's go racing. Hey, you ready, Beth? Green stock, 25 big laps, 1,200 to win. Ten laps left to go. White flag, one more lap, one more time around.
Michael stays focused. His car runs like a dream, and in the end,
the win goes to Carnival 18, Doug Gillespie.
well, in racing, sometimes, most times, it's not your night. But you don't have to be on a Wheaties box to be a race car driver. You just have to be like Amy and Michael Tribble, who know that victory doesn't always mean first place.
I didn't get lapped, I didn't wreck, I finished the race and loaded the car in one piece, so it's a good time.
And you know, that's a part of Texas culture that just seems to keep on growing. I'm Bob Phillips, Texas Country Reporter, on the road in Memphis.